I set forth on a new journey for my new life in a completely new country. I moved to the United States from India with English not being my first language, which is why it was so hard for me to connect to a culture here and find a community for myself.
I completely agree. When I first came here, it was so hard for me to find community and have a sense of belonging. But I did have a lot of help. I went to an international school back in Hanoi, and that's where I learned English. And that really helped me to adapt to this culture much more quickly.
And I had my family here too, who helped me meet new people that I could connect to, find a community for myself. But we understand that not everyone in our shoes is fortunate enough to have these kind of resources. There are so many people who come to the United States lacking education, lacking community. That is why we care so much about an organization like the Resident Leadership Council, whose mission is to provide these resources and this sense of community to the people who come here.
Now let's meet the team. Although Hassan couldn't make it here tonight, but I'm isolated.
I'm Gauri Mahajan.
I'm Coco Moore. I'm Charlie Mizraki.
And I'm Ivan Holtzinger, and we sincerely hope that by the end of our presentation, you can envision a decisive next step for the Resident Leadership Council. Neil, something you said in the Q&A really stuck with us. You said the RLC's greatest successes are its individual stories. Success stories from people who have been personally helped by the RLC. The diversity of these stories is what sets Aurora apart from its neighbors, and the ability to take that and uplift that diversity is what sets the RLC apart from other organizations. You are not every other nonprofit sweeping in, experimenting, and then leaving when the funding dries up. Because you are Aurora, speaking with the power of its many unique voices. And now that you plan on expanding to new wards, the RLC is in need of more resources to extend its reach. We believe that the best way that you can do this is by doing what you already do best, telling individual stories. To emphasize the impact of storytelling, you've already heard from Gloria and Ice, who will continue to share their stories throughout the rest of the presentation. And you've already heard two incredible presentations tonight, but our main concern is that they might be too impractical for you to implement, especially in the long term. So what we have prepared for you is a cost-effective plan to attract partnerships and grants that works with your already busy schedules and ensures that we focus on giving a voice to the voiceless. Additionally, we have done the research to find potential partnerships and grants that we believe best fit the RLC's mission. Our plan comes in 3 steps, which we call RLC.
Resonate, levitate, and cultivate. The first step is to resonate with partners and grants. Resonating means telling a story that creates a powerful call to action. Right now, the RLC's only platform for sharing its success stories is word of mouth, as your webpage is so hidden on the entrance website that no one can find it unless they're already looking for it. Additionally, the webpage itself is vague and inadequately showcases the RLC's successes, leading potential partners to wonder what you've accomplished over the years. The most important thing to remember is that the RLC's success is its individual stories, and stories are the best way to draw and support. According to Stanford professor Jennifer Aker, stories are up to 22 times more likely to be remembered than facts alone. Stories put a face to a problem, resonating with partners and public officials alike, and communicating that Aurora is a community of real people with real needs, and not just a collection of statistics.
We interviewed Weston Ballard, who is a CU alum and a member of the board of directors in the largest LGBTQ nonprofits in state, the Center on Colfax, which is located right down the street from the Anschutz Medical Campus. From his experience and by looking at your budget, he believed that the best thing that the RLC can do is invest in digital campaigns that showcase real-life stories, which is why
the second step in our plan is Levitate, which is all about building a digital presence. Nowadays, social media is by far the easiest and most effective way for potential donors and partners to learn about the RLC. Maintaining a strong social media presence is key, as it will not only emphasize the RLC's results, but also the RLC's stories. We as a group feel that focusing on real-life testimonials will be most effective, as social media is all about how you choose to tell your story. Here are just some examples that we drafted up of how to effectively tell a community member's story. Keeping a platform updated is necessary, as it will not only expand outreach, but promote upcoming events and increase fundraising efforts. In fact, 55% of all individuals who engage with nonprofits on social media end up taking some sort of action, with 59% donating money. After weighing our options, options, our group feels that focusing on a website and Instagram will be most effective for the RLC. However, given your current workload, we know that maintaining an online active presence will take too much time away from the RLC's community efforts and projects. Luckily, we have a solution for this.
Gabriella, during the Q&A, when you told us how much you've sacrificed for the success of the RLC, I was reminded of my mom, who has been self-employed for over a decade so that she can offer low-cost financial services to low-income members around Denver. It's just a picture. Just like you, she has sacrificed so much of her time and energy, all those late nights and weekends, to ensuring the success of her business. And just like the RLC, she has struggled to get her name out there. She doesn't have the know-how to run a digital campaign all by herself, and she couldn't afford a PR team, and neither can the RLC in the long term. Which is why she started using a service called Levitate, which does all of the heavy lifting for her at a reasonable price without sacrificing her personal touch. She could not recommend it more.
Levitate is an award-winning digital platform that offers everything that the RLC needs. Their team would create a website for you and keep it regularly updated with new information. They also streamline your social media needs by providing sample templates that you could use anytime. Their team will draft and send out personalized emails to sponsors, donors, partnerships, with translation in 10 different languages. It also has a management feature which can help with calendar scheduling and meeting bookings and other administrative tasks, which can help communicating with volunteers so much easier. Their rate is custom tailored to your needs, and one of their specialized industries is nonprofits. This will create an online presence for the RLC and take some weight off your shoulders. But we want to take even more of that weight off your shoulders by introducing the third step in our plan.
Cultivating your future. In the Q&A, you mentioned that finding partners and applying for grants takes time and research the RLC doesn't always have. We hear you, and so a big focus of ours was finding potential partners and grants that suit both your needs and the needs of the community. Our first recommendation is Inclusive Therapists, which is an organization that connects individuals to therapists, counselors, and coaches, both online or in person. While other groups may inform you about mental health-focused partners, we've extensively researched and curated a partnership that emphasizes inclusivity in addition to aiding mental health needs. They cater to over 90 different languages and provide valuable services to a community in need of mental health care. Inclusive Therapists makes getting connected easy. Community members seeking help just need to visit their website and search for a local therapist that meets their linguistic and/or financial needs. Not only is it easy for community members to get connected, but initiating a partnership with Inclusive Therapists is as simple as visiting their website and reaching out through their straightforward contact portal. Our second recommended partner is Intercambio, which aligns with the RLC's goal of providing better economic opportunities by uniting communities in spite of language barriers. Their services provide a multilingual and cross-cultural learning program that also offers resources and guides for immigrants, all while celebrating and preserving the diversity of its members. A partnership with Intercambio can mean providing ESL learning and equipping community members with essential skills for job searches and interviews. In addition, Intercambio recently received a $2 million grant from Yield Giving, which means they are adeptly equipped to provide the RLC with financial resources and could even offer guidance in the grant department. In fact, just yesterday, Intercambio reached out and put us in contact with their partnership director, Kira Wolfson, to help guide you through the process of becoming a partner. Finally, it's important to note that partnering with the RLC appeals to both of these potential partners because they would benefit from increased platform awareness and a mutual dedication to serving the community.
Now let's talk about another critical funding source for the RLC, grants. Although the RLC is not classified as a 501c3 organization, there are still so many grant opportunities to explore from. That's why we handpicked 3 great funding opportunities for you guys that we think will be an excellent fit. First, we have the Beyond the Gates Foundation, followed by a corporate grant from State Farm, and last but not least, the Rose Community Foundation, because it is a local foundation that focuses on helping organizations that aims to enhance the lives of immigrants in Colorado. So all you have to do is go on their website and submit an application through their grant portal. While we're very excited to present you with all these partnership and grants, we also identified 2 potential risks that the RLC might face. First is time consuming, but with our plan of using Levitate, we hopefully have eliminated this risk altogether. So the only risk that we are concerned with is the risk of substandard partnerships, because there's always a chance that your partner may not be as fully committed as expected once the partnership is established. So that's why we recommend that you draft partnership agreements early on to outline roles, expectations, and exit strategies to ensure that there is commitment and accountability from both sides.
Following our 3-step plan, we envision early results for the RLC. After adopting Levitate, you'll see results by the end of this month. We're taking care of your website and social media needs. We know that applying for grants and communicating with partners will take more time, but based on the path that we have paved, we feel that we will see results by the end of this summer. Now let's discuss the budget. Our budget by far is spread out, and we have planned out a path that is effective long-term for the RLC. We know that when running a business, there are always going to be unexpected costs that you may run into, and it would be irresponsible for us to not take those into consideration. Your biggest investment by far will be your Levitate subscription. While the Levitate subscription model is customizable, we want to offer the RLC a long-term plan that lasts over the course of the next 5 years. The business that we know, Ivan's parents, pay around $2,100 annually for this plan, but again, it is customizable.
Gabriella, during the Q&A, you mentioned that one important investment that the RLC makes is incentivizing its volunteers. We believe that this is important to continue doing it because now, especially that you're planning to expand to these new wards, you want to attract more volunteers and avoid burnout. So we believe that it is important to continue doing this. The other half of the budget is apportioned hypothetically based on the operating costs that the RLC has currently or might have in the future.
Our 3-step plan, Resonate, Levitate, and Cultivate, begins by telling a story that resonates with everyone who hears it. Now, no offense, but you are not our client. Our client is the people of Aurora who need an organization like you to make sure that their voices are heard. It is imperative that their stories are not just told, but heard by anyone who can do their part to make a difference in the lives of Aurora's underprivileged and underserved. Our plan is designed to be implemented immediately and in the long term without taking away any valuable time that you've already spent with all the incredible work you are doing.
Looking back, it has been such a long journey ever since I came to America. While I have developed my own voice, but I did not lose track of my cultural roots and tradition at the same time. And that's what makes the RLC work so important, because you guys are helping immigrants that don't lack that same supporting system that I have.
And even though I had these resources when I first came to the United States, I still struggled to find a community here and connect with people here and feel like I belonged. That is why we believe that the RLC and its mission can provide these resources and this sense of belonging to the people who move here. With our new 3-step plan, we believe that the RLC can give a voice to the voiceless. Thank you.
I have a question about Levitate. So it sounds like it's an all-in-one service. And I have a concern that it would be required to work within the university's boundaries. Do you know if they've been hired by the University of Colorado or any other local institution?
Yeah, so currently we don't have the know-how of who has used the service in the past. A big concern would obviously be whether CU can use their website building or it's sanctioned by CU. However, even if they can't build the website or regularly maintain it, in case that has to be done by CU, they still offer so many administrative and other services that make it continue to be worth it. Plus, it makes the service so much cheaper depending on what services you want to include and which you don't.
So I'm curious, speaking a little more about Levitate, because it seems like a cure-all almost to a lot of the issues that we face, from website development to calendar scheduling, social media management, curious to hear more about your mother's kind of experience with it. You know, like how she found it, and if there were any like barriers to entry, whether it was like a steep learning curve, or how her approach to using it, and if that has improved, or her experience improved over time.
She became aware of Levitate through Wings for Widows, which is a nonprofit that she is on the board for, helping fellow widows like her, run businesses and operate their financial services, and they use Levitate. And so that's where her, experiences come from, and they are managing her website as we speak. They're operating her social media, making sure her LinkedIn is updated, all those sorts of things. And once again, like, she cannot recommend it enough.
And then in regards to, sometimes when it comes to grant funding, they have a lot of particular requirements. And when you were researching these different grant opportunities, did you see like any restrictions in regards to, allocating resources for technology, or different things where you could also see challenges with, maintaining that sustainable funding for the long term, like the 5-year cycle that y'all were speaking about?
Right. So with these grants opportunity that I researched, all these three have in common is that they support organizations that aims to tackle issues related to safety, education, and community development. Is exactly what you guys are trying to do. So these grants are right in line with your. They really want to help organize like you guys, your guys' mission.
By any chance, did you check any of the grantees?
Grantees.
Yeah, the
Who
award.
they're currently funding?
Oh yes. For example, the Rose Community Foundation, they're already funding a lot of nonprofits that around the Denver metropolitan area that have missions that's similar to the ROC. So we would love to have them expand to you guys as well.
Well, thank you guys very much.